going on, Cave Dwellers?
What's up, Cave Dwellers?
Tonya and Andrew and our little Black Panther. One of two. That'd be Jilly. She's our girl. It's pretty late. I probably should turn off that TV, but it's pretty late. It's past midnight here on September 23rd. And we're seeing some information out there coming across the interwebs of the end of Camaro. And we're not even talking about the strike yet from the UAW, which obviously has hindered plenty of things and is going to continue to hinder. But we're actually talking about the real end dates of Camaro and when the last car is going to come off the line. I don't know if you've been following us, but we took a trip last week to Detroit to see the first ZL1 ZL1 Collectors Edition at the Detroit Auto Show. We were able to get media passes for our YouTube page, which we really appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the reason why we get to go to these things, and we're going to continue to try to do more things like that, so just stay tuned for that. But we wanted to bring you guys the news that dropped tonight of Camaro ending, the dates, when orders are going to stop for coupe and convertible, and finally give you guys an update on when our order is getting completed. So yes, when we were in Detroit, when we were doing a video, we did find out that our order did get accepted. So last Wednesday on the 20th, no, like 18th, no. 13th. Yes, the 13th, which is crazy because our order is getting built.
Our lucky number.
The week of the 13th.
Our lucky number.
So our 2SS Panther Collector's Edition order is getting built 11/13. So we're really excited about it. Didn't think it was going to be happening, even if my dealership does have 5 Chevy stores in their auto group. It just was very hard to try to get an allocation. And my store so far only has gotten 2 allocations, ours and one 3LT, which is actually getting built a week beforehand. And if you followed our little shorts that we've been posting, the only thing...
Building that one first?
Yeah, they're building that 3LT first. But I did a little short, 7,500 miles. The only cars built and on their way to dealerships were 3LTs. They had a lot of V6 engines left. So they needed to make some special ones. Even if the 3LTs are going to cost between $48,000 and $52,000, depending on how they're set up.
Expensive.
It is expensive. Ours, which we're pretty excited about. What was our MSRP?
Expensive.
I believe.
64.
No. 62. 62,190. Was our MSRP, and we did a couple things. I tried to, we discussed trying to make it unique, and so far I haven't seen many cars getting built with the way that we built ours, so it's pretty cool. So hopefully we'll be a standoff, and with the information we just found out, seems like they're not going to be building that many cars for the final year. Sad face. Yeah, so
crossing our fingers, toes, eyes, whatever we can cross, that we get to our build date.
And that seems to be an issue because the UAW and the big 3 are still on strike. We're going on a week now, and today it got worse. Well, Friday it got worse. Looks like they're going to be striking at 38 factories between GM, Stellantis, and they're going a little lighter on Ford because they came to the negotiating table. But this week so far, the Wentzville plant from the UAW decided to go on strike. So the plant that builds the Chevy Colorado, GMC Canyon, and Cadillac XT4, and Chevy Express van for all fleets is on strike, so they haven't been building for a week. And then on Wednesday, GM fired 2,000 employees at the Malibu factory and closed the Malibu factory. So now that factory is not working.
Yeah, but can we just talk about how smart they did that? Like,
they don't want to pay the people, so they cut it and closed the door on them.
I know, but they striked at places that would affect other factories and stop the factories from being able to work without even having to strike them.
Very strategic, but they've been planning this for a long time. Personally, I think they wanted to go on strike until their demands are met.
If you don't build this part over here,
correct,
and these are still like moving along doing whatever they're doing, but now they can't because they need this part from over here to come over here to keep going. You don't have to strike these because they can't send the parts over here
100%
to keep moving. So now strike this one and shut all these down too.
The UAW, as of today, is announcing they're going to go after 18 GM parts facilities and start striking at them. So far, Camaro in Lansing Grand River. Nobody knows where the Camaro is built. It's built in Lansing, Michigan, American made, and the vehicle is built at LGR. Lansing Grand River is the name of the factory. And that factory has not been affected yet. As of September 23rd, today, the factory is still up and going, and they're still building Camaros.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
So we're we're hopeful. Hopefully GM can come to the table with the UAW and meet somewhere in the middle, and especially because it affects my job. Can't sell cars that are built in this country if we can't get them delivered to the dealership. So there's that. We gotta be able to afford this Panther edition. Yeah.
I gotta sell a lot of spices.
You do. You gotta sell a lot of spices. So, what you guys have come here for, the big news that got dropped tonight on Camaro 6, the forms, and I was able to check on the back end to see if it was actually true or not. It does look pretty accurate. So, looks like the 2024 model year vehicle build out date and initial consensus dropped tonight, and the Camaro is going to be ending sooner than everybody thought. So the initial thoughts were great. The Camaro factory is going to be building these cars until January, maybe the end of January, and end like January 31st or 30th, whatever.
Not so much.
Looks like they're not even going to make it into 2024, which is upsetting, which also means they're not building a lot of 2024 models this year, and the cars will be very limited, and therefore will be rare, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of dealer markups, which we're already seeing on all the ZL1 Panther editions, collector's editions that are finally hitting dealerships. So some of those cars are hitting dealerships, and today actually Camaro News posted
all the pictures of all the Panthers.
I know. If you haven't seen it on my Facebook, there are some pictures of the
packs of Panthers.
There's lines of ZL1 Panthers at the factory. It looks awesome.
Packs of Panthers.
Yeah, there had to be at least 20 of them just in a line. Just like the numbers.
Little litters.
Yeah.
Oh, litters
I know,
of
little Panthers.
Little litters of Panthers.
So, but, so there was a dealership in Tennessee. Yeah, Betty Chevrolet got 2 ZL1 Collectors Editions, a coupe and a convertible today, and pictures are finally starting to drop. Apparently they were available earlier today. I'm sure they're gobbled up by now.
I'm sure they're probably sold.
But as we know, these cars are between 90 and 105 K for coupe and convertible. And yes, I know we've seen some other people do some videos of the convertible and how there's differences between the coupe and the convertible. Obviously, I personally didn't think they were going to put the ZL1 108 wing on the convertible. It just didn't make sense. It can't fit. The convertible top goes down.
Yeah.
The engineering wasn't there. Plus,
Didn't work.
you still needed the rear view camera that is on the top of the coupe. It's actually in the stanchion of the SS wing on the back of the ZL1 convertible. So, yeah, I didn't think they were going to do that. Of course, they're not changing the price for you. The package is still $15,000. Still worth it to have one of the last ZL1s until many, many years from now. All this talk about Camaro coming back in 25, 26. No. Personally, do not see it happening. Maybe 28, maybe 29, but it depends where GM is at that time. But I digress. We'll see.
Probably electric.
Well, there talks about it going E-Ray style, so they already have the power plant of the Corvette E-Ray, but let's not make it out seem like we don't know what's going on. GM and the government made General Motors choose Corvette or Camaro. That's it. They had to make a choice. The government says you can't build two cars. The CAF laws don't support both vehicles. So, which vehicle is more profitable? Obviously, Corvette. So they're going to keep the Corvette line, keep it going, and get rid of Camaro. And that is exactly what happened. Same thing with Ford, and people want to argue with it. Ford built their Ford GT. Where's the Ford GT now? They're still building Mustang, but the Ford GT is not there anymore because the government got involved and said you can only build one. Which one do you want? And here is your billions of dollars to build electric vehicles. So that is what happened. But I digress. Now we're going to get to why you're probably watching this video in the begin with. So what got dropped? The final dates. If we're reading this right, looks like the final build out date for the Chevrolet Camaro Coupe is December 7th. I always want to say 1941, but December 7th, the final Coupe Camaro build out date will come off the line. So if that is the final date, we see an American made, American built Camaro come off the line for a second time. It's happened twice in my lifetime, and twice in her lifetime, obviously. It's going to be a sad day.
Mm-hmm.
Very sad day.
Convertible.
And the convertible is actually going to be sooner than that. The last convertible build-out date is going to be 11/22/23. So, end of November. Which is actually only a week after our coupe's supposed to get built. So what that tells me is that since our car got accepted on September 13th, and our build date is November 13th that week, there's not going to be a lot more allocations getting given out for collector's editions or Camaros. Allocation goes out 2 times a month. So in the beginning of the month, and then almost the end of the month, you get a second allocation. So there's only a couple more allocations that are going to be given out for Camaro. So if you want one, you desperately need to find a dealership that has an allocation and that is not sitting at 1100 status. There's plenty of dealerships out there that are putting these orders in for customers, and they're not getting through because those dealerships did not earn an allocation. So in order for GM to give out an allocation, you have to sell a Camaro. And the longer a car sits on the dealer lot, the longer you do not get an allocation. And it hurts you.
If you live somewhere where you never see Camaros on your dealership lot because they sell a ton of trucks, i.e. you live in a farm community
or a state where you get a lot of bad weather, you don't sell a lot of Camaros.
And you see mostly trucks being moved in and out of your dealerships.
And not many Camaros. If you
That's
sold,
not where you want to put your Camaro order in.
correct. If you sold 2 Camaros in 7 months, you're not going to get any allocation. And that's just what it comes down to. Areas like South Carolina, North Carolina, Texas, California.
So if you live in
Florida.
rural America, you need to make the drive into your closest big city and put your order in there.
Yes. Now, there are a lot of big Camaro dealerships in the middle of the country because they have a huge following. But still, like she says, you need to find a dealership that already has an allocation.
Don't go to your local
and
rural.
When you place your order, they need to be
dealership.
able to give you an order number and tell you your status. If your status goes from 2,000 to 3,000, your order's supposed to be getting built. As long as the UAW strike doesn't affect it, which, again, we can't really discuss or get much into because
we don't know.
It's changing daily.
Your dealer won't know.
And your dealer won't know. Basically, I work at the dealership every day, and we're following all the news articles that are getting posted because there's not internal discussions or memos getting sent out to the dealership. So we have to go by, Yahoo News and CNN and all these other news outlets that are getting information ahead of time.
No way for you guys to know.
Exactly. So,
but they do know what your statuses are, and if they're not telling you, it's because they know that your status is either at
1100, which means it's just sitting there waiting for an allocation, which you will not get the car built.
They know they're not going to get it, and they're just trying to keep you there so they can try to sell you something else. Move on. Go find another place. Go somewhere that has a better chance of getting it.
Yeah.
And try to get them to, be honest with you.
Now,
ask them. Go to your favorite dealership. Obviously, absolutely go to your favorite dealership. Go to your favorite salesperson, and just ask them. Be honest with me. I know that this is a hard car to find. Like, do me a solid, and be honest with me. Like, how many Camaros did you sell? Like, you need to look into this for me. Like, please know what you did this year in your location. If you guys only sold 2 Camaros this year, I'm not going to get an allocation for this, and you know it. So please be honest with me and tell me who is the closest dealership that I can go to, because it's just going to bring me back to you when I need to buy my daily driver or my truck. But right now, what I need is that Camaro. So tell me where I need to go. Please don't waste my time, because time is of the essence right now. Mm-hmm. And you holding me here is keeping me from getting that, which is going to make me mad. And I'm not going to come back here and get my daily driver. I'm going to go somewhere else to somebody who's being honest with me. So just be honest with your dealer and ask them to be honest with you.
Do you want one of the last naturally aspirated V8 Camaros maybe ever built? Go find one.
Yeah, so if that's what you want, you just, you need to ask them to be honest with you. Otherwise, they're going to play the dealer game with you.
And there's going to be markups. We are already seeing it. My dealership is not doing any markups. But our orders are already filled. And I do have a 3LT Collectors Edition V6 RS available right now. So if anyone wants that car, you could certainly reach out to me and we can put your name on it. MSRP minus whatever incentives you qualify for, so no markup on the car whatsoever. But it is going to be over $50,000, and that's just the going rate.
It's just kind of what it's coming down to.
Is that going to be worth it for a resale?
That's what it's coming down to.
Only time will tell for that.
We wanted a ZL1.
We were willing to spend $100,000 to get a ZL1.
We couldn't get it. So
we couldn't get an allocation.
Step down and go to the next thing and try to get an SS.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily we were able to do so. If we couldn't, we were going to have to step down and try to get the next one lower. But
we already got mods on order, don't we?
We do, but we're not going to be talking about that yet. We'll talk about that when the car shows up.
I can't give everything away.
No. You will, though.
No. Also, the people who have actually called my dealership and talked to me this past week, which I found really cool. So I am willing to answer any of your questions. Even look up your orders, which I've done for a couple people that have called my dealership this week. It's pretty cool. I really do appreciate you guys watching. So feel free. I mean, I do have to work, but I love Camaro, so we'll try to help you out as much as possible. Now, let's just get back to it. The final things that we're talking about. So if the final consensus for General Motors to send to dealerships, so GM will send your dealership their final Camaro 24 Camaro Coupe consensus October 1st, which is a week and a half.
Come on.
Yes. So your dealership in a week and a half will know if they're going to get their final allocation for a coupe. Now, final orders have to be submitted by October 19th. So your order cutoff date for coupe is 10/19/23.
That's any Camaro, right?
Any Camaro. Yeah, it doesn't matter what. They're going to know their last coupe allocation. So GM separates the coupes versus the convertibles. So the convertible allocation is actually sooner. So you're going to... Which is crazy because we're already past this, and this just got dropped today. But the last convertible allocation was already sent out on September 2nd. So... if you plan on going to put an order in for a convertible,
don't.
It is not going to get built.
You're not going to get it.
The convertible cutout date order.
But that doesn't mean you can't find a dealership who does have one.
Yes, correct.
And hasn't sold it yet.
So convertible date was 10/5. So that is the last cutoff date for convertible orders. So dealers already know if they're getting that allocation for the convertible, and they have until the 5th to edit their orders, which is crazy to me because we thought in all the reporting that January, February was going to be the last dates that Camaros were going to get built, and
not so much.
No, which means this build year is short and super rare. So if you can get any 2024 and you want one of the last American muscle cars that GM may ever build, go find one.
Go now.
Do it now. If you can afford it and finance it and keep pushing it off, do it. You only live once. Granted, because we're trying to add to our fleet.
Can't take it with you. So that's that. But
yeah, it's just crazy to see that all these dates came out.
So crazy news, but
that's what we have for you guys. We'll do another video soon of our order. We wanted to finally get our order date out there for you guys. I know you've been watching and people were commenting and trying to find out when our order date was, so we do appreciate that. But yeah, it's
kind of like a pregnancy. We don't want to jinx it.
We're still.
I just wanted to get past that first couple of weeks.
We wanted to get past it, but it was really cool, and we do really appreciate it. Hopefully, the strike doesn't affect the building at Lansing.
We don't want to miscarriage our car. Yeah. And we do appreciate everybody that's been, sending us like all your comments and everything, and telling us about your guys' builds, and
we do read them all.
The excitement, even the negative comments.
Sad to see some negative ones,
I
but
am the kissy
there's a
mark.
lot of them.
I am the kissy mark and the bat, obviously. So if you see a comment with a kissy mark and a bat, that's me. And we really do want to get your videos. So I mean it when we say, let us know about your deliveries. Send us your pictures. We'll turn them into a video if that's all you have is pictures. If you actually can get video, then send us video.
Yeah, if you've seen the last one we did of the first Panther SS that got delivered, we did a video for that customer. It came out really well. And
so send us your deliveries. Yeah. Any of your 24s.
Any 24s.
Somebody called me.
We want to see your cars. This channel is not for us. It's for you guys. We want to keep Camaro going. So
somebody called me at work and told me about their trials and tribulations of their ZL1. It wasn't even a collector's edition, and they were trying to jip him out of his car.
And people that think they're not building ZL1s, they're building ZL1s.
Oh, they are, because he's taking delivery of his tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And
we'll put his up.
Search. There's plenty of ZL1s out there. So
we'll show you his delivery. He's going to send it to us, and
just within a couple thousand miles, there was 8 Riptide blue ones getting built. So go find them.
We got a shark skin getting delivered in Texas for somebody that lives in New York. So
people are willing to travel for these cars, as long as they don't get screwed.
And they're being just as stingy with them as they're being with the collector's editions. That's crazy. They're out there. You got to go get them.
You do.
So they're there, and just as much love to them as the collector's editions. The 24s, all of them are getting really hard and rare to find. So it doesn't matter if you feel like, oh, okay, well, all they talk about is these Panthers. Nobody cares that I'm taking, Riptide Blue, taking possession of my Riptide Blue today, or I'm taking possession of my white one.
1LT, 2LT,
whatever.
3LT. We're Camaro people.
Yeah.
We love all Camaros. It doesn't matter if it's a V6.
So
a 2-liter, which they don't make anymore.
This is all about the 24s right now, so if you're taking delivery of it, send it to us. Doesn't even really have to be a 24. If you've been looking for one for a while and
a lot of people are still buying 23s. Still finding 23s. And see, that's a problem with some dealerships that still have 23s on their lot. That has hurt their allocation. So that their dealership's not even going to see a 24 if they still got 23s on the lot.
No, or you might
It affects them.
You might be adopting a gently used.
Yeah.
Let us know about that.
Yeah.
We're happy to see you. I mean, somebody might be rejoining the family and picking up something that somebody else can't take care of anymore.
Yeah. Also, if people think there's all these GM discounts on these 2024s, it's not going to happen. GM is not even accepting employee pricing for 2024 or GM supplier pricing. They're not doing any discounts from the manufacturer for 2024. So if you think it's going to get better,
don't wait for it. It's not going to come.
Don't wait for it.
If that's what you're waiting on, you're going to miss
out. I work at the dealership, and I'm not getting no discount.
They're not even doing. They're not
doing the employees.
They're not even giving the employees deals.
No.
So
it's crazy. It really is.
Full price, babe. Full price. Ouch.
At least we're not paying over sticker.
Full price. Ouch. Well, it's just because your dealership's not gonna rake anybody over the coals. I mean,
I've been there long enough.
No, but even normal people aren't going to get charged over sticker like $100,000 over sticker, $200,000
for a Camaro. I know.
Shame on you.
Someone will pay for it, though.
Shame on you.
Someone will pay for it. We have our first 2024 is coming in 2 weeks, and it's a 2SS convertible, and it's Riverside blue, with the black wheels, black top, and that vehicle's still available. So if you know anybody that wants that one too, MSRP minus whatever incentives, if they have any, contact us. Put something in the comments. I'll be glad to talk to you about it and tell you everything about the car.
If you're watching, shame on you.
Well, we kept this video a little longer than normal, but it's a lot to unpack when you think about it.
It is a lot to unpack.
I don't know what we're going to do when the final car comes off the line.
Sad day.
It's going to be a really sad day. I'm going to take off work.
Sad day.
Well, we'll drop this one to a close, but we wanted to bring you guys the latest news as soon as we found out. So that's that. We will
from another Camaro corner.
Another Camaro corner. One of our many corners in here. If you haven't seen this, that's a 5th Gen Z28 and the 50th anniversary edition Camaro 50, which we were both at the factory and we did the factory tour of where the car gets built for the 50th. But we weren't together, but we were both in the same place at the same time. Again, not knowing it. So that was cool. But
I know, it was pretty cool. You had a video of me. And I'm like, oh look, were you there? You were like, were you there? I'm like, yeah, pull the video up. That's me. Fourth car.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's pretty crazy, but we do appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for all the support and all the comments, and if you need anything, post it down. Send us your pictures, your videos. We love to see your cars, and until next time, guys.
Peace.